Namaste, hello, and welcome back to another video on Hamsavahini, Vajraasthra. I'm Awhona, and today's video is going to be about all that I've been reading this week. So I did start off with two of my projects, and I'm really excited to share the two books that I'm currently reading. And I also acquired two new books, which I would really like to get to next month because they seem apt for February. So I'm going to share all of that with you. So do please join me further in this video. So the first book which I'm going to talk about is a classic called Jane Eyre, and it's an absolutely lovely novel. So I'm reading this for one of my reading projects called Spinning Classics, and this is a gothic romance. It is a feminist novel, and it is also a Bildungsroman. I'm absolutely enjoying the writing. I love the character of the protagonist, and it follows this orphaned girl called Jane Eyre. She said that she is orphaned, and then she is taken in by her relative, and her aunt, who's supposed to be looking after her, is not very keen on raising her properly, and there's always a discrimination between her cousins and herself. And finally she is sent off to an orphaned educational charity institute called Lowood, where she's supposed to be trained very hard because people think that she has a very aggressive temper, too aggressive for the then Victorian women in question. So she tries to acquaint herself with her environment and also learn from the struggles of others and her fellow girls who are there within her educational institute. And her struggles are very prominent, and she finds that she's not the only one who is having a hard life as it is. And she grows up to become an educator, gets appointed as a governess, and the story goes on from there. So I have not really finished reading this entirely, but I'm absolutely loving the way it has been written, and that's the first classic that I'm reading for this year. Now the next book which I'm going to talk about is called The Winter Spirits, Ghostly Tales for Frosty Nights. Now this is a collection of short stories by various wonderful authors like Bridget Collins, Kieran Millwood Hargrave, Andrew Michael Hurley, Natasha Pulley, Elizabeth McNeil, and many more. And it's all set, these are short coast stories. They are all set within the wintry, chilly months, and I absolutely loved the entire ambience. Each of these stories is almost atmospheric, and I am absolutely enjoying this read. I'm reading this for my project called Gothic Carnival, and most of the stories are dark, and they have this element of suspense, and of course the spirit element walks in, but then there is always a twist to this spirit element. So I'm going to talk about more once I complete this book. So that is one of the other books that I've been reading so far. Now, one of the books which I've recently acquired is called Dating Dr. Dill by Nisha Sharma. Now, this is a hilarious rom-com, and I will be reading this for my project, The Spice, Silk and Sword Sisterhood, which has books which focus on Asian authors. Now, this is a book which is absolutely hilarious from what I've heard, and it's all about our main protagonist, Karina, who wants to have a glorious love story like her parents, but unfortunately she is not very confident with relationships, and she shies away from dating apps. So her father gets fed up and announces that he will be selling off her late mother's property, which goes against Karina's feelings and her sentiments. So she strikes a deal with her father that if she finds a partner to settle down with within 4 months and gets engaged, she will inherit her late mother's property, to which her father does agree. Now she has an argument with one of the TV show hosts called Dr. Dill, and this is Dr. Prem Verma, who is trying to gain customers who have a good amount of money to donate to his cause, which is to raise funds for the local community center, which is what he wants to open. But unfortunately, his argument with Karina on sets goes viral, and it creates a lot of commotion. So he is at a risk of closing down this show, and somehow to save the show, his relatives have to step in, and they try to get Karina and Dr. Prem engaged so that the show can go on, and Dr. Prem's objective can be established, and he can get more contributors to contribute to his cause. And in the meanwhile, Karina would also be able to reach her goal to inherit her mother's property. But they finally end up falling for each other, and it's a hilarious turn of ups and downs, and it's perfect for a February read. So I will be reading this in February, and I'll be talking about this as well. So that's one of the books which I've recently acquired. Now, one of the other books that I've recently acquired is a murder mystery, and it's called The Fast and the Dead by Anuja Chauhan. So there's a lot which is going on in this book. I'm not too sure about the plot, but it does involve the police. It has a jeweler being murdered, unfortunately or accidentally, and then the jeweler's wife is also suspected. She did break some very sacred ritual for seeking blessings for the long life of her husband, which all went wrong, and after this her husband gets murdered. So there's an involvement of a gang, and there's also a Bollywood star who is on rise, who returns home to meet his sweetheart, and he gets into the middle of all this. So there's a lot which is going on. It's a perfect murder mystery, and I think I'll be reading this in the month of February, which is next month, of course. So this is one of the other books that I did recently acquire. So that's all I have for you this week, and I will be back next week with the books that I plan on reading for a readathon, which will be conducted for 2 weeks in the month of February, called Randomathon. I'll leave all the required links as well as information in the description box below, as well as in the overhead cards above, for all of you to cross check. So I'll see you soon next week with another video. So till then, take care, have a good reading week ahead, and namaste.